Good day, everyone. Welcome to our new lesson for today. I am your teacher, Wildy Anne, and I will be teaching Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. For our lesson for today, we have human variation. What do you mean by human variation? It means humans are come from in a number of shapes and sizes. But before we proceed, here are the topics you are expected to learn. Number 1, articulate observations on human cultural variation, social differences, social change, and political identities. Number 2, you can demonstrate curiosity and openness to explore the origins and dynamics of culture, society, and political identity. C, you will become aware of fact and cultural relativism mitigates ethnocentrism. Nagkakaroon tayo ng pagkakaiba-iba based sa environment and history ng bawat isa. Those are the two primary factors that shape the behavior of human groups. This behavior, which serves as an adaptive tool for the varied stimuli projected by the environment, na ang posibleng nakaka-influence ay ang pagkakaiba ng mga beliefs, practices, and material possession, yun ay tinatawag na cultural variation. So each human group experiences differing environmental conditions. Let's talk about nationality and ethnicity. Ano ang nationality? It is the identity that is tied to being part of nation or country, a group of people who share the same history, tradition, and language, and who inhabits a particular territory delineated by political border and controlled by a government. Like for example, dito tayo pinanganak sa Pilipinas, kaya tayo ay mga Pilipino. Ganun din naman sa ibang bansa, kagaya ng Amerika, sa kanila doon ay mga American. Scotland ay Scottish, sa ay African, Mexico ay Mexican, at marami pang iba. Okay, balikan natin sandali ang history ng Philippines. For conventional long form, ito ay tinatawag na Republic of the Philippines or Republika ng Pilipinas. Spanish explorer Ruy Lopez de Villalobos, during his expedition in 1542, named the island of Leyte and Samar, Filipinas, after the Philip II of Spain, then the Prince of Asturias. Eventually, the name Las Islas Filipinas would be used to cover the archipelago's Spanish possession. Take a look at this. Here are some details about our nationality and languages. Okay, our next topic is about naturalization. It is the legal act or process by which a non-citizen of a country may acquire citizenship or nationality of that country. For example, nakapag-asawa kayo ng foreigner or galing kayo sa ibang bansa at citizen na kayo sa ibang bansa, gusto niyo ulit na mag-acquire ng nationality natin dito sa Philippines. All you have to do, pupunta kayo sa Immigration or Bureau of Immigration para mag-apply. And doon, bibigyan kayo ng iba't ibang requirements. Okay, let's proceed to the definition of ethnic groups. Ethnic groups is a human population whose members identify with each other, usually on the basis of presumed common genealogy or ancestry. Within a nation are smaller cultural groups that share specific environments, tradition, and histories that are not necessarily subscribed by the mainstream culture. Well, dito sa Philippines, actually, we have 180 ethnic groups in the Philippines. Groups. Apart from the varying cultural backgrounds and ethnicity, human population also experience social differences. So ngayon, pag-uusapan natin yung iba't ibang social differences by categories. Let's talk about category under social differences, which are gender and sex. Gender refers to the socially constructed roles, behavior, activities, and attributes that a given society considers appropriate for men and women. Unlike sex, which refers to the biological characteristics of humans such as male or female. Gender categories are more varied, accommodating identities such as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, pansexual, polyamory, and kink. Huwag natin ipagkakamali na ang sex ay tumutukoy sa biological characteristics or babae or lalaki lamang. Samantalang ang gender or gender roles ay tumutukoy naman sa behavior, kung ano yung dinidikta ng environment or society natin or para sa atin. Here are the different gender identities. Number 1, heterosexual. A person with this gender is inclined to be sexually attracted to a person of the opposite sex, while homosexual is when a person is sexually attracted to a person of the same sex. Gay, a male who is romantically and sexually attracted to another male. Lesbian, a female who is romantically and sexually attracted to the another female. Bisexual, some individuals who are attracted to both sexes. Asexual, some who are totally incapable of being attracted to any sex. Polysexual, individuals who are attracted to multiple types of gender identity. And lastly, pansexual, individuals who accommodate all types of gender. Finally, we have transgender, whose gender identities do not match their biological identity as male or female, while transsexual orientation is not related to their genitalia, which allow them to identify with any other types of gender, such as heterosexual, homosexual, pansexual, bisexual, or asexual. Nowadays, marami ng tao ngayon na nagre-raise ng awareness for equal rights, especially among the LGBTQI community. And meron na rin ngayon, or marami na rin ngayon ang nagpapa-gender reassignment surgery o yung mga surgical procedures para dun sa mga transgender person ma-align yung physical appearance and functions na gusto nila. Let's talk about socio-economic class. Madalas na naiisip natin kapag sinabing socio-economic class, mahirap lang or mayaman. Well, actually, for Filipinos who are from global south or developing countries, mas nakikita natin talaga dito yung mga poverty. Yun talaga yung una pumapasok sa isip natin. And when it comes naman sa development countries or global north, kagaya ng Singapore, Canada, US, or United Kingdom, sila naman yung mga tinatawag na industrialized nation. Well, people falling into different social classes are bound to experience life differently, kagaya ng mga mahihirap. They have different types or amount of food na kung ano lang yung afford nila or kaya nilang i-consume daily. And from high economic status naman, they have different cultural interests and hobbies and yung mga nakakasama nila or peers and relatives nila. We have typical determinants of one's social status includes, number 1, income, value of assets and savings, their cultural interest, habits, and economic status. Meron tayong two different types of social class system na ginagamit. Meron sa US and meron sa British. Ito yung sa US and ito yung sa British. Tatlo yung sa US, namely upper class, middle class, lower class. And merong subclasses under the middle class, namely upper middle class, lower middle class, and sa lower class naman, we have 3, working class, working poor, jobs, and underclass. Ito topic natin ang social stratification or stratification sa mga susunod na lessons natin. For British or Great Britain, meron naman silang 7 na social groups, namely elite, established middle class, technical middle class, new affluent workers, traditional working class, emergent service workers, and precariat. And dito sa Philippines, US talaga na social class system yung ginagamit natin. Pero pag tinanong mo mga Pinoy, sa social class na meron sila, madalas na maririnig natin, actually tayo din, minsan nagagamit natin ito. Ano social class mo? Ang sagot nila, mahirap, medyo mayaman, sakto lang, mayaman, or the like. Let's talk about political identity. Political identity means a social category refers to the set of attitudes and practices that an individual adheres to in relation to the political system and actors within his or her society. Examples ng mga ito ay ang political parties dito sa Philippines. Number 1, we have ang ladlad or mga parties, political parties na negotiate for welfare ng mga LGBTQI community. We also have Kabataan Party List na nagpo-promote for youth empowerment. And we also have in religion, members of Iglesia ni Cristo na nagpo-promote and nagpo-practice ng block voting, a church-based exercise of one's right to suffrage. Sa mas malalim na talakayan, actually individual or mas nakakarami or grupo can acquire political identity. All they have to do is subscribing to their political belief such as communism, democracy, or socialism. Let's take a look at the graph showing the percentage of the world population by religion distinction. And dito, survey to from 1945 to 2019. Na ang pinakamalaki sa religion na to, distribution of religion ay ang Christian. Next, ang mga Hindus, Christian Protestants, Islams, Buddhism, and so on. Earliest forms of religion revolved around making sense of natural occurrences such as extreme weather conditions, natural man-made calamities, sickness, and even health. Noong araw, gumagamit sila ng mga Diyos-Diyosan o mga rebulto para sambahin. Actually, merong artifacts nga sa France na nakita. Ito yung The Sorcerers of Legabello. Half human ito and half animal. Nakita to, inukit sa bato, and then ito yung ginamit nila as religious ornaments. Meron tayong tinatawag na monotheistic and polytheistic. Monotheistic believing in the existence of one God, while polytheistic believing in existence of multiple gods. For the last category under social differences, we have exceptionality and non-exceptionality. These are some individuals do not conform to behavior and cognitive norms, not because they intended to deviate from such, but because they are exceptional. The concept of exceptionality leans on the non-average capacity of an individual. Ito yung mga geniuses, disabled, and challenged persons. Marami na rin mga privileges available para sa disabled person, physical or mentally challenged. Kagaya nito sa SSS, kapag beneficiary nila kayo and at that time, naging disabled ka, pwede ka makuha ng benefits or pera galing sa government. And ito naman, private company ito na nagre-recruit with people with disabilities. Isa sa mga kilala nyo company na nagre-recruit aside from senior citizens ay ang McDonald's or what's that? Starbucks. Meron ding mga special benefits ang mga PWD natin, lalo dito sa Philippines. They get discounts, priority lanes, and so on. For our last topic for today, we have cultural variation. But before that, I would like to remind everyone that human identities are varied due to the variance in their environment and culture. So, nagbabago-bago yon based on their religion, maybe on their political identities, on their gender roles, and etc. Let's talk about ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Well, actually, normal talaga sa atin ng mga tao ang mag-judge. Pero bago tayo mag-dive into deep discussion about that, let's define first ethnocentrism. It is a perspective that promotes an individual's culture as the most efficient and superior. Hence, the individual who exhibits ethnocentrism feels that he or her culture is the most appropriate compared with the other cultures. So, yun nga. Ethnocentrism, for them, is the technical name for the view of things in which one's own group is the center of everything. So, sila yung pinakamagaling, sila yung top, sila yung most popular, and sila yung pinaka-main culture above all. Ganun ang pag-iisip and principles ng ethnocentrism. While cultural relativism is a principle that promotes the perspective that cultures must be understood in the context of their locality. So it means cultural relativism simply the belief that all cultures as equal, complex, pantay-pantay, walang superior, walang inferior, walang magaling, at walang low culture na tinatawag. That's all for our today's lesson. Thank you po for watching, and sana mapanood din ninyo yung mga videos na available sa Genyo Online ninyo. Thank you. God bless.